Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. Welcome to Evolve. Welcome students and soon-to-be graduates, parents and friends, family, our very small private live stream audience, just for friends and family who couldn't be here, SVA leadership and faculty. This is Evolve, the official thesis festival of the class of 2023 at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. Welcome. Yeah, thank you for being here. So I'm Liz Danzico and the founding chair of the Interaction Design program here. And I am thrilled to be here with you today. You are about to meet a group of human beings who have gone through a lot to stand up here before you today. And I just want to kind of give you a little bit of context to why they are most remarkable for being here to do what they did. In the fall of 2021, you may not remember, as we're starting to kind of try to block it out a bit, we were deep in the pandemic. Students were hailing from multiple countries, all committed to being part of an interaction design program, but not knowing whether they would participate together alone, together in person, and committing to take at least 25 classes, not knowing if they would start participating on the screen together or sit side by side, but all committing to do one thing, which is try to work on what the future of interaction design would be. And as it happens, they started out, of course, remote and hybrid, and then came here together in person. So it's been quite an evolution for this group. As many of you know, at orientation every year, we talk about human behavior as our raw material, right? Human behavior, not pixels, not emerging technology, not the newest thing, but we talk about human behavior as our raw material for sort of invention. Since 2021, we've come kind of a long way. The advent of sort of consumer level artificial intelligence, readily accessible, has changed quite a lot for a lot of people. And we have now a number of messy human behaviors that we're starting to make sense of, both as consumers and as designers, trying to design together responsibly and to think about what this means for the future of interactions. So the 21 inspired people and inspiring people they're about to see have talked over the course of a couple of years about moments in their lives that are very private and intimate, very public and international. And they've taken these ideas and sort of consolidated them to things that they want to do to sort of evolve the landscape. And that's what we're going to hear about. Before we hear from them, what their ideas might be about, I thought we could just take a moment to acknowledge where we are. And that is on this slide. That is here on this place. So I want to recognize that here at the School of Visual Arts, this theater and our campus, we acknowledge that this very place, our campus, resides on unceded indigenous lands, and specifically those of the Lenape-Hoking, or the land of the Lenape. The main Lenape meeting place was actually located just near here at Astor Place, just a few blocks away from our campus. And before the forced migrations happened in 1626, things were quite different. And colonial narratives since have really overpowered and often shielded mainstream recognition of the historic and continual displacement of Native people. And as an educational institution, we have an obligation and offer resources that try to shed light on the accurate depictions of history, both in this case and in all cases. So this land acknowledgement indicates our commitment to confront that history and is intended to be just a starting point for dialogue, relationships, and informed action. So with this informed action, we can take that to the investigation that the students have had too over these past couple of years. There are many people, some of whom are here with us online, in the room who have been part of this journey, and I want to acknowledge one of them who's here with us. This person has helped us think about what we're going to experience today. First, we're going to hear talks from the students in this theater, and then we're going to go over to an exhibition nearby, just 3 blocks away, to see these investigations live. This person, Eric Foreman, has been part of both of those investigations, helping the students think about the ideas that you'll hear about now, and also helping them think about how to put them in physical form in the studio so that you can investigate them directly, the students and their projects, that is. And Eric himself is Thesis faculty member of all the Thesis courses we have. He also is our head of innovation, a student advisor, and wears many hats in the department. He's particularly well suited for this because he crosses boundaries in his professional practice. He's a fine artist, a designer. He does performance, architecture, crosses boundaries into science, and there are many of his installations here in New York City, too many to name, in fact. And so I wanted to hand it over to Eric to come up and share with us how we're going to hear about today and the way that we've thought about the space for you. So Eric, if you can join us, give a hand to Eric Foreman, Thesis faculty. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in a bit.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited that you're all here with us, and I'm especially excited to see what all of you think of this incredible group of students who've been working so hard over the last year to present their work here today. They chose this theme, Evolve, inspired by the idea of broadening perspectives and of changing ourselves, which is the most important part of evolution, and ultimately trying to push the boundaries of design itself. In the world today, as we all know, but especially now more than ever, design can't be concerned just with interfaces and aesthetics and usability. It really has to be concerned with purpose. And in order to do that, and you'll see that here today, the students have to address big problems that are thorny, are complex, are messy. They're not simple, and problems in the world rarely are. Design problems especially are never simple. And as I often remind them, to the point that they're sick of hearing it from me, there's no easy answers. So they've been working for the last 2 semesters, starting with research and prototyping and experimentation, trying to find ways to use interaction design to untangle these issues. And I think you'll see in the next few hours that these projects have managed to be both realistic and idealistic at the same time, which I think is a blend that we really need. They're not promising miracles, which would be naive, but they're working to make progress, to chip away at these problems, to change how people think. Hopefully, using design, you can change not just how users interact with a certain thing, but also with how they interact with each other and ultimately how they interact with the world. And if design does a good job, and I think these projects do, people themselves might start to evolve, to change their own thinking, and to be open to the idea of changing how they do things, how they see people, how they see these problems. And ultimately, this is what design is for. It's not just for efficiency, it's trying to make the world better. The students themselves are going to share their work with you in 7-minute presentations. We've grouped them into 4 sub-themes under Evolve, which are introspection, education, connection, and inclusion. And there will be a break in the middle here in the lobby with some snacks and drinks, but we'll hope that you'll also join us afterwards for the reception back at our studio a few blocks away, where you can see their work in more detail, and you can also ask them questions and even challenge them on what they've done. For the audience, if you see anything today that you find interesting or something that sparks a thought or something that makes you think differently about something, please share that with the hashtag IXD Thesis Festival 23, which is in the corner of the screen. And for the students, your evolution will not stop here. You won't graduate and find a job and then that's it. Your life goes on. Your life will go on, but you yourself will never stop changing. You have to grow, you have to change throughout your life. And in fact, if you're not growing and changing, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't feel like things are static. You shouldn't feel like you figured things out, because life is an unfolding process of evolution. So my last words of encouragement to you are to keep an open mind, to work on yourself, and don't be afraid to take risks. So with that, I would like to welcome our very first speaker, Esther Lin.
Hi, my name is Esther. 2 years ago, I moved from Seattle, Washington to New York City. And while packing my belongings, I found a Starlight projector that I forgot I bought 2 or 3 years ago. I remember I saw a picture like this on social media and thought, this will look great in my room. But after buying it, it turns out that I was too lazy to turn off my bedroom light to turn on the projector light, so I ended up only using it once. Still, I took it with me to New York, where it is once again sitting in the box. Many of us have shared these moments. We come across a product that is so appealing, which triggers an impulsive purchase, but later realize the thing we bought doesn't serve our needs or lifestyle. It turns out that 40 to 80% of our purchases are unplanned. Impulsive buying can make us excited, at least in the moment, when you get that shiny new thing. But these impulsive purchases eventually have significant negative influence on our personal finances, our well-being, the environment, and society as a whole. Today, it has become increasingly difficult to resist the urge to buy, because we're living in a consumer and ads-driven society where marketing and technology work together to bring the latest and most personalized items right to our fingertips. But there are ways we can begin to break the unnecessary cycle of consumption and experience positive change. And to do this, we must first be aware of it. And so, I created the Stop Sign Project. Stop Sign Project is an interactive public experience that raises awareness of societal impact of overconsumption and its effects on well-being. The installation consists of 6 panels, like a hexagon-shaped stop sign. It's designed to attract people from different directions and allow to engage with the installation in any order they choose. The introductory panel provides a quick introduction to the Stop Sign Project and explains how to engage with installation. This panel includes a starter card that participants will use to track their progress throughout the whole experience. And the core part of this installation consists of 4 panels, each with different challenge scenarios that mirror the main triggers behind impulsive buying. The first challenge is Ad Spotter, representing how social influence impacts our buying decisions. In this challenge, participants are asked to scroll through an Instagram feed as they normally would. And after 30 seconds of scrolling, they're asked how many ads they notice in the feed. The goal is to reflect how ads seamlessly blend into our life and how social media unconsciously triggered impulse buying. And the second challenge is e-commerce sweeper, uncovering the hidden costs of convenience in today's online shopping. So in this challenge, participants are asked to help their friend Sophie to navigate the online shopping world. Their mission is to identify potential marketing traps that might tempt Sophie into buying more than she initially intended. And based on how participants help Sophie, they will receive personalized learning. The third challenge, Deal Breaker, shows how deals and promotes influence our buying decisions. In these scenarios, participants are buying a coffee machine on Black Friday. And throughout the checkout experience, participants were tempted by buy one, get one free deal, bundle deal, and email marketing traps. And afterwards, they learned about the hidden impacts of their choice and the truth behind those marketing traps. And the last challenge is X and 1. Demonstrates how small add-ons could tempt us into buying more than we need. The scenario is about buying a water bottle for daily use. But through your research, you found a water bottle that can magnetically hold up your phone. And when you're checking out, you're prompted with an upgrade to your item, making a smart water bottle that tracks your water intake. And after each challenge, participants can see how their responses compare with others and learn more about the hidden impacts of the different marketing traps, how they influence us, and actions we can take to have more control of what we buy as consumers. Lastly, the installation has a community sharing panel which encourages participants to share their thoughts on how their life might be improved if they buy less stuff. So, how does it actually work? To start the experience, grab a card from the introductory panel and go to any available panel and complete an on-screen challenge. And after each challenge, put the results sticker on the starter card. After completing all 4 challenges, submit results by scanning the QR code on the back of the card, which participants will receive a personalized summary of the challenges and reveal their buying language. And while completing the challenges, participants have the opportunity to share their thoughts on the community panel. This panel is designed to be engaging to anyone, even those who merely pass by the installation and give it a brief glance. This interactive pop-up experience is designed to be part of a museum experience, pop-up at a community center, at college campuses, or at any similar type of event. And I have spent the last 2 months bringing the Stop Sign project to life. And last week, I had the opportunity to showcase it at a place called Somewhere Good, which is an inspiring community center in the heart of Brooklyn. It was amazing to share my project with others, chat with them and learn about their buying habits, the thing we all bought on impulse, and share ways to combat those temptations. Here are some highlights of what people said about their experience. Overall, people thought the experience was really inviting, it was fun, and the information was informative and digestible. I want to end this presentation with a quote by Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at change. I started this project by first looking into an old box and realizing throughout my life, there had been many of these old boxes filled with impulsive moments. It was a wake-up call for me, and I hope through this pop-up experience, others can also view consumption a little bit differently and maybe open up one of their old boxes. Thank you everyone who had visited my first exhibit in my life, and those who have supported me throughout this journey. Thank you.
Hi everyone. You're looking at a picture of me and my dad. We were cutting my 5th birthday cake together. My dad passed away last year due to leukemia. Ever since then, I've been on a journey of grief. Grief is challenging because it can be lonely and isolating. I wanted to talk to someone to make it feel less uncomfortable, to feel less alone. But as a young adult, I find it hard to find someone I could really talk to. My friends couldn't fully relate to what I've been through, since they don't have that experience yet. Therapy was expensive, not affordable for me. Support groups were composed of people who were not around my age, which made it hard to feel related to. and my family had their own history and unresolved issues. I didn't want to add more burden on them. At this point, I wondered, am I truly so alone that there's no one I could talk to? Turns out, I'm not the only one who struggles with this problem. From my research, I find out that around 60% of young grievers tend to not talk about their grief. And this is because they believe that it's a sad topic, no one wants to hear it, and they don't want to burden people around them. I had another interesting insight when talking to other young grievers. A person told me, sometimes it's safer to be vulnerable with someone you don't know. And the mechanism behind it is strangers are easier to open up to because they have no history with each other, and that decreases their judgment. As I continue my research, I discovered that there are two crucial criteria for a grieving young individual to start a conversation about grief. First is feeling safe, meaning not being judged while having the conversation and not being rushed to move on from their grieving. Second is feeling connected, meaning having shared experience with the person you're talking to over your loss. Each grief experience is unique, and it's very different for someone who lost a loved one in a car accident compared to someone who lost a grandparent to Parkinson's. But within their current social circle, there's no perfect candidate for them to talk to. That's why I created WISPO, an experience that connects young grievers and allows them to support each other. WISPO matches you with strangers who have also experienced loss. You could find solace in knowing that you're not alone in your grief, that you could connect with others who truly understand your experience. WISPO is broken down into 3 key features to help young grievers. Onboarding with WISPO is centered around getting to know you and providing a personalized experience. When you sign up for WISPO, we'll ask you a few questions about yourself so we can find the right matches for you. The short survey will include your gender, age, ethnicity, and religious beliefs. Furthermore, we understand that every grief experience is different, and we want to ensure that we provide the right support for you. That's why we'll ask about your specific loss, its cause, and how long it has been. Additionally, you have the option to share your story through a short voice memo. This information will help us personalize your experience on WISPO and ensure that you are matched with the right people who can offer the support you need. Next feature is the matching system. Here you can browse profiles and look for potential matches to talk to. Each profile will highlight the shared experience as you, so you could easily identify and choose the right person to connect with. Additionally, you could read their intro, listen to their voice memo, so you could get to know them a little bit better before actually connecting. You will send a text invite once you identify the person you want to connect with, before you both agree to meet virtually. Finally, let's talk about our conversation tool. It is designed to help you navigate through your conversation once you've connected with a match. You can choose from 3 topics: warm-up, sharing, and reflection. Each topic provides different prompts to guide you through the conversation, making it easier for you to open up and share your thoughts and feelings. Whether you want to start with some warm-up questions, share your story, or reflect on your emotions, the conversation is there to help you every step of the way. Through WISPO, you can connect it with like-minded individuals who understand what you're going through. It is a place where you can find support, share your story, and receive empathy from others who have experienced loss themselves. Grief is never easy. It can be lonely and isolating. but I know our loved ones wouldn't want us to be alone in our grief. With Wispo, you don't have to face it alone. I'm Daniel An. Thank you all for listening.
Have you ever tried developing a good habit? I'm sure most of us here have tried to develop good habits for a better life at least once. It could be going for a run in the morning, 10-minute meditation, or reading. Hello everyone, my name is Nayan Kim, and today I want to talk about my habit forming journey. Last year, I wanted to start waking up earlier so I could tackle my tons of schoolwork. Did I manage to become an early bird? Well, unfortunately, no, I couldn't. I've tried out several habit apps out there, and they all work quite well for me, but only for the first few days. After 3 to 5 days, I lost my momentum and passion for the habit. Just marking the task as done in the app was not motivating enough for me to sustain the habit, and sometimes I even forgot to do it. Also, besides the check marks, I couldn't see any immediate or visible reward for my progress, which made it difficult to stay motivated. So, I found habit building to be tedious, and it came as another pressure and burden in my already stressful life. As a result, I eventually gave it up in the middle. On average, it takes about 66 days to build and stick to a new habit, but many people, like me, give up before it actually becomes a habit. So I started to ask myself, how might we help people develop new habits and sustain them long term? Consistency and proper rewards play a vital role in successfully building new habits. And then I recognized that this pattern closely resembles the experience of completing quests in a game. And this insight also sparked an idea. What if we made this boring habit journey more exciting, like a game? So with this idea in mind, I started designing Hobby. Hobby is a habit-forming platform that builds new habits and helps you stick to them in a fun way with the help of a friendly companion monster. Hobby aims to make your habit-forming journey easy, fun, and more motivating. Here are cute companions named Hobby that will help you on your journey. Each habit is paired with this unique companion monster. As you continue to complete your daily tasks, your hobby grows and levels up with different shapes. The companion monster's growth visually represents your progress, being a tangible and visible reward of your efforts and achievements, reinforcing your commitment to the habit. Now, let's create a new habit. First, when you join Hobby, we guide you in creating a new habit during your onboarding. By having you set an ultimate goal and recommending a habit based on that, you can choose the right habit to align with your goal. This approach will increase the achievement rate of your new habit. After choosing a habit to build, you make details of it. One mistake people often make when starting a new habit is setting an excessively ambitious goal. This can make the habit feel intimidating, leading to procrastination or giving up entirely. So at Hobby, we encourage you to start with a small goal by providing a suggestion. It helps you overcome the initial resistance and makes the habit easier to stick to. Next, you can add your existing daily routines or habits that you already have. And then you will set a schedule for it. By using the existing habit as a trigger for a new habit, it triggers your brain to start anticipating the new habit. And over time, the two become linked, and the existing habit becomes a powerful cue for the new one. Lastly, you can design a hobby which you can raise and grow by consistently engaging in the habit. And later, they will be floating on your MySpace page, showing the current status of your habits like this. Great, you're all set. Now let me show you how it tracks your progress and interacts with you during your journey. At a set time on each day, you receive a notification requesting to upload a daily post for your habit. By capturing the moment when you do it and uploading it with a short caption, you can mark the habit as done. This will help you stay on track and keep a record of your progress. As you complete your daily habit, you can easily track your overall progress and the progress of each habit. Also, as you successfully complete the habit, you will get points, and these points can be used to decorate your hobbies with adorable items. By raising and adorning them, you will experience the immediate rewards of your achievement, providing you with motivation to keep going. Hobby also encourages social interaction, allowing you to connect with friends. You can explore your friends' progress and cheer them on. By visiting your friends' spaces, you can also view their unique hobbies. And there's a support wall where you can leave supporting messages for them. Interacting with friends will provide additional motivation to make your habit journey even more enjoyable. Once you reach a streak of 66 days, Hobby assumes that you have successfully built the habit. We celebrate your achievement and provide you with two options. Either continue with this habit or stop tracking this habit and move on to a new one. So you can continually progress and explore new areas of improving your life with Hobby. Hobby will turn habit formation into an enjoyable journey. With Hobby, enhance your life and make it more delightful. Thank you.
Do you remember where you were at 18 years old? When you were just about to graduate high school and felt like the world is at your hand. It was a special feeling, right? Hi, my name is Allison Cho. It was summer 2015 when I just graduated from high school. I feel like I just got into my dream university and was about to major in what I thought was suitable for me, business. I was ready to work hard, play hard. However, it didn't take long for me to realize business was not for me. What I held in my hand wasn't a golden ticket. There's no ticket at all. I felt lost and didn't know what I should do. And it wasn't just me. According to National Center of Education Statistics, 80% of the college students try switching their majors. 55% of the college graduates don't work in their chosen field. And 78% of the people are either not engaged at work or are actively seeking other jobs. So I talked to a few people to find out why. What they were struggling in high school was self-understanding, not recognizing their own values and passion outside of schoolwork, which can make them easily influenced by job stereotypes, forming false assumptions based on public opinions, traditional biases, or opinions of peers and parents. Also, getting limited exposure because they don't know what to look for and could be restricted by the background they grew up in. So the school did a pretty good job in teaching us knowledge we need to know about the world, but not so good at guiding us to see where we could fit in. So what do people do now? Well, for me, when I felt lost, to find my suitable path, I started trying to see what's right for me. I was spending most of my time doing workshops, exhibitions, clubs, internships, and part-time jobs. I was exposed to more than 10 fields, which helped me navigate to product design. What I realized later on from the research, what I was helped by, was the magic of experiential learning. It is the process of learning by doing, by connecting theories and knowledge in classroom to real-world situations, like brainstorming for marketing strategies and sourcing and teaching as an NGO member. Let's take a look at the famous examples of architects. Frank Lloyd Wright was playing with the wooden cubes, the spheres, and the triangle when he was a kid. He later became the pioneer of modern architecture. According to him, all those geometrically shaped cubes were all in his hand to this day. This got me thinking, how do we incorporate experiential learning to real-world occupations for high school students to make career decisions? And that brings me to my solution, Unique. It is a hybrid toolkit with card activities and a mobile application that aims to help you discover your qualities, empower your progress, and get experiential learning opportunities. I designed card activities for students to find out 9 aspects about themselves, including something they can do, like their abilities and their skills, and something they want to do or love to do, like their interests, people to be around with, their community, ideal work environment, and their goals. The structure is based on the theory, what color is my parachute? For each aspect, there will be 9 different category theme cards that describe the purposes and definitions and the steps user need to take. For example, for the top abilities, user will use the scenario card and imagine a scenario where they walk into a bookstore and need to pick up a lifestyle entertainment magazine. And then they get inspired from the story card, and then from the visuals, they remember the experience of throwing a Halloween party. Then they use the thinking card to reflect on the whole experience of how she organized and throw it. And use the skill cards to assess herself of the skills she's demonstrating throughout the process. In this case, it was gathering information and creating a new community. And use the evaluation card to reflect on her progress and share it with her friends. After user done the 9 activities, they will have enough understanding about themselves. Now they are ready to explore the diverse career fields. To help them with that, I created the digital apps that take students on real-life field trips to explore different fields. Let's take a look at our user Ella. She downloaded the app by scanning the QR code and syncing her answers. After syncing her data, she will be matched with different career options. For each career options, there will be coordinated field trips for it. And then, in each field trip, she will see which of her friends are also suggested to go on this trip and invite them to go together. There will be 3 destinations with hands-on learning tasks. She can browse the trip on the main page or go to the map tab to see the options around her based on her geolocation. Take the architecture trip, for example. After she started the trip, she arrived at the first stop, which is the High Line, to do a warm-up activity. She takes out her phone and starts taking photos based on prompts like, take a photo of the building you think is aesthetically pleasing, a building you wish to design, or wish to live in. This task is to help user build a relationship with the field of architecture first. At the end of the photo hunt, she can document her immediate reactions and feelings and thoughts to reflect and remember her experience. Now it's time to dive deep. She gets to the second location and participate in the sketching workshop where she practiced one of the hands-on skills of an architect. After a few hours, congratulations, Ella has finished the whole trip. She is rewarded with different collectible items like the notebooks, maps, and sketch table related to the field of architecture. She is now ready to style her avatar. She can express her moods and customize her own shape and style her avatar with different items earned from the trip. In this case, she's most drawn to architecture right now, so she chose the correspondent items and shared it on social media. Unique is here to solve the problem of lack of self-understanding by guiding users with self-discovery cards, reduce stereotypes by letting people go through hands-on experience, and alleviate limited exposure by having smart matching and a huge database of the diverse careers. With Unique, I see a world where everyone's future is no longer a place we end up in one day, but a place we get to decide for ourselves. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Suki Yan, a product designer and a photographer. Allow me to ask you a question. What is work-life balance? Is it a 40 minutes dog walking after work? Or 2 hours PS5 game time? Or maybe having a weekly family dinner? The answers may vary depending on who you ask, but they all revolve around the same ideal: having time for the things you love. So how do people deal with their work and life time today? Things have changed a lot during past few decades. This is my dad, a dedicated worker. He's also here today. Hey, Dad. So, 20 years ago, my dad's work and life balance was quite good thanks to the clear boundary of a typical 9-to-5 schedule. But after the pandemic, I find myself living and working in the same limited apartment space. It has been a real struggle to maintain the balance. And this struggle is not unique to me. As over 26% of Americans today are working remotely, 75% of them are experiencing mental health issues. But only a few of them are take actions or make change to address the issue. So this got me thinking, how might we raise telecommuters' awareness of balancing work and life at home? During the research, I found 3 primary factors that lead to the imbalance: unexpected distractions, such as the interruptions from young kids; digital overload, which can be particularly problematic from the young generation; and unconscious overworking, such as a freelancer designer sitting in front of the desk for over 10 hours per day without even realizing it. Thus, I decided to create a minimalist, a motivated, and reflective experience to help telecommuters better manage their time at home. Introducing Focus. Focus is an intelligent time management product designed to enhance the work-life balance. It consists of 3 parts: an application, a timer, and an interactive desktop accessory. So the Focus creates a positive feedback loop of time management, allowing users to take back control of their day, even in the confines of their home environment. And now, let's take a look at a commercial to see how Focus works indeed. Imagine your day at home. You get a package from Focus containing an interactive scale and a timer. The first thing you can do is to customize your time attention span. When you start working, initiate the Work Focus unit. the timer light off indicates a focus unit is end, and the scale will tilt towards the work side, indicating more time is spent on work so far. While you're chilling, you can also bring the portable timer, press the live focus button. Once the timer ends, the scale will tilt towards the live side. In this case, it goes back to a balanced state. And at the end of the day, you can check your time spending performance daily, weekly, and monthly. Have a nice and peaceful dream. So this is Focus. To sum up, Focus creates an immersive and minimalist time management experience through 4 stages. They are define, detect, display, and derive. As we know, people's sense of time varies depending on the weather, your moods, or your health conditions, so the Focus app allows users to define their attention span by the things they love, increasing motivation and setting a good foundation of effective time management. Once synchronized with a physical device, users can track their time spent with a portable timer and benefit from the minimalist design that reduces distractions, improve the productivity. The interactive scale not only adds a stylish touch to any living space, but also acts as a tangible reminder of how your time is spent. And at the end of each day, users can analyze their data, receive personalized lifestyle suggestions, and strive for continual improvement. Focus allows for seamless transactions between work and personal life, offering a path towards a more balanced lifestyle for individuals, but also emphasizing the importance of employee well-being for businesses. It was quite interesting when I was designing this project. To be honest, my work and life balance was terribly disrupted, as I often work till midnight. But it also triggered me to reflect a lot of questions. How to define work-life balance in this digital age? If these digital products that aim to improve the lifestyle, do they actually relieve our stress or add to it? But no matter how much the world changed and how intense your work pressure may be, I hope all of you could take a moment to relax in this long journey, appreciate the world and people around you, focus on the present, embrace the future. Thank you.
It was September 2017, a day that changed my life forever. I was on the floor begging for my dad to come back to life, while he slowly wilted away. That was when I realized I'll be experiencing the most unbearable grief of my life. After his funeral, I vividly remember lying next to my mom and holding my tears while shaking uncontrollably, because I thought it is not acceptable to express my vulnerability and grieving emotions. Until recently, I realized that if I just turned around and told my mom how I felt, my grieving journey would not be so lonely, painful, and difficult. Today, most families still do not talk about grief. And not talking about grief leads to isolation, which can lead to avoidance. And with avoidance, grief often becomes complicated grief, where people are likely to experience depression, physical illness, and difficulty in having relationships. It is important to talk about grief before it becomes too difficult to intervene. As a result, I managed to speak with a few grieving families, and there were 4 things that kept coming up. The first is the one-size-fits-all guidance, which is not helpful at all, since grief is unique to everyone. Then there's difficulty in having a safe space to express grief. The third is the limited ways of expressing grief. And lastly, the struggle with consistent self-reflection. Hello everyone, I'm Leah Hao, and I created Reflect. It is a collaborative art kit that provides a space for families to express grieving emotions in both verbal and nonverbal ways through art. Reflect is here to help parents, siblings or children, extended family, or even friends that feels like family. We believe that collaboration is key during tough times, which is why the entire journey of Reflect requires two family members to participate and process grief together. I understand that grief is unique to everyone. That is why the onboarding consists of questions like where you are in your grieving journey, what you're doing to cope, who you would like to begin the Reflect journey with, and lastly, what activity are you most interested in? After going through the onboarding, we'll create a curated kit and timeline based on your answers. We then take a few days to send the curated kit, and once you receive it, you can unbox it. During the unboxing of the kit, our goal is for users to experience calmness and stillness through the use of color and composition. The kit carries a guidebook, 2 Reflect pods, 2 biodegradable journal, and the art supply of choice that highlights the entire Reflect journey. One of the most important elements in the kit is the Reflect pod. It encourages users to have consistent self-reflection, and it is not like an app where you can easily dismiss notifications, but it is a physical smart printer with a screen that gently reminds you to do the journal and the activity. It also has a connection strip on the right that helps you connect to the other pod for the conversation activity, as well as a dial that allows users to set the corresponding week of their printed prompt. After getting familiar with the pod, it's time to begin your weekly journaling. The cards are a sticker that allows you to place them on the notebook, and the impact of physically writing on paper is much larger than doing it digitally, which also helps in expressing grief in nonverbal ways. After a few weeks of self-reflection, users will be able to carry out the conversation activity. To set the scene, the conversation activity is set in a safe space, and users are making a clay sculpture for their lost loved one. They have placed 2 pots together to start the conversation, and during the activity, users will ease into the conversation as they will be crafting while asking questions back and forth. Now that they have begun the conversation activity, the printed prompts are broken down into 3 categories. The first is warm up, for users to ease into questions and feel more comfortable in their space. An example question is, what is one intention you would like to set during the conversation? And then there's connection, to help users embrace and understand each other's emotions. And lastly, support, to encourage users to ask and provide support even after the activity. The intention of the activity is for users to express their emotions in creative ways, and to also use the movement of their hands when creating art as a form of self-soothing and easing into intense emotions. By expressing grief, users will be able to turn emotions into realizations and understand what helps in the grieving process. Here is an example of our users' artwork using Reflect. On the left, you can see a bowl with sunflowers for her aunt named Sun, because they used to make, and dumplings, because they used to make dumplings together. And on the right is an organic vase that represents the state of calm users want to achieve throughout their grieving journey. The art users create is a powerful expression of complicated emotions that are too difficult to put into words. While grief is a long and complicated journey, Reflect helps families have more conversations about grief. And to summarize, the Reflect experience starts with onboarding for personalization, receiving the curated kit that helps with calmness and stillness. The weekly journal encourages consistent self-reflection. The conversation activity provides a safe and structured space to talk about grief. And we want to make every step of the process as meaningful as possible, which is why you, at the end of your Reflect journey, you can plant your biodegradable journal as an initiative of a new beginning. Lastly, we believe in reusing and sustainability. So you can choose to return the pot to us, and we'll pass it to the next grieving family. I made this project for people like me and my family right there through the grieving process. And for my dad, knowing my dad, he would love to give this project to all the grieving families out there. So let's start talking about grief. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This is my grandmother opening her first smartphone on her birthday, and she's thrilled to start using it. But as weeks and months went by, she starts feeling frustrated, and I spend most of my time answering her questions. Rochelle, how do I end this call? What do I press now? Research shows that 42% of older adults above the age of 60 own a smartphone or a tablet, but almost 77% of them need help from someone else. As life moves rapidly online, there is now a digital divide between the older adults and the younger generation, and closing this technology education gap is now a necessity more than ever. Today, most older adults rely on friends and family for help. Senior centers provide tech support. And since the pandemic, organizations such as Senior Planet have created online resources to increase tech savviness. Despite the availability of these training tools, older adults still face challenges like their working memory declines with age, making it difficult to retain information. They lack familiarity with current digital interfaces like icons and touchscreen. And older adults have different learning abilities based on their age group, tech literacy, and cognitive limitations. To investigate further, I conducted smartphone classes for 10 weeks at a senior center to closely observe their learning needs and found that using multimedia content like text, audio, visuals offer older adults the flexibility to learn with their preferences. They feel more comfortable trying technology if they can get instant help and feedback. By relating new information with their existing knowledge allows them to construct concepts easily, and they're able to practice tasks on their own with clear step-by-step instructions. This is why I created Tech Fellows. Tech Fellows is an interactive learning tool specially designed for independent older adults who are new to the digital age and are willing to adopt. It is based on a multimodal pedagogy that helps older adults process information grounded both in their physical and digital worlds. This happens with supportive training that provides an overview of the learning system with a guidebook and an NFC-enabled smart card, which helps them quick start their learning journey. The learning then continues on the tablet app, such as on iPads, which provides way for multimedia content on a larger screen. This approach allows for flexibility and convenience, enabling them to learn at their own pace. To understand how the system works, Tech Fellows divides the learner's journey into 3 phases. First, easy onboarding to bridge the gap between physical and digital. Second, primary learning on the app to help build an accurate mental model to use smartphones. And extended learning to help them practice on their smartphones. So let me show you how this experience actually works. Learners onboard Tech Fellows with the help of a physical guidebook. And this guidebook acts like a manual that demonstrates how Tech Fellows works and shows them the benefit to interact on a learning app. The guidebook also contains contactless smart cards that work with a single tap using NFC technology. So the learners can simply tap the smart card near their camera, which is when they direct it to the App Store, and they can install the Tech Fellows app, especially if they do not have any help. Also, keeping in mind different learning abilities of older adults, they can start learning on the app in 3 different ways. First, they can directly tap the card on the iPad, or they can read the back of the card for instructions and follow them. And if they're comfortable to start, they can navigate on the app. Then the primary learning happens on the Tech Fellows tablet app. So after the learners onboard the app and set their preferred text size and audio volume, they can start with instruction guides or by browsing an iPhone glossary. The 5 instruction guides cover the basics of setup, using touchscreen, phone functions, basics of apps, and different app categories. When learners start with a guide, for example, using touchscreen, they can pick a topic like tap. Each topic builds their knowledge from scratch with supportive information and practice exercises. They can read through this information that use both pictorial and verbal methods to relate to their prior knowledge. Tech Fellows also has a voice companion named Ada, which narrates and emphasizes actions on the screen and provides feedback.
For best results when tapping, only use the tip of your index finger, like shown in the image. Tap on the next button to practice. Briefly touch the circle only with your fingertip. Try tapping in the middle of the blue circle very gently with your fingertip. Great job! Now tap on the orange square again.
In advanced guides like iPhone functions, learners can go to a topic like Connect to the Internet, which helps them build their knowledge on different symbols and buttons, which they currently lack in their vocabulary. This helps them become more familiar with their smartphone when using it. These topics also engage learners in meaningful tasks through practice exercises. With the help of step-by-step instructions and annotations, they can simultaneously demonstrate the task using a simulated smartphone displayed on the screen. This interactive approach not only reinforces their understanding, but also helps them build confidence. Further, to extend their primary learning into their everyday lives, the learners can practice on their phones with the help of smart cards. So after finishing a topic on the tablet, they can pick the relevant smart card from the guidebook and use it like an analog shortcut to get to the function they just learned. Overall, Tech Fellows facilitates learning by focusing on instruction material that meets the needs of older adults. With tablets as popular as smartphones among this demographic, Tech Fellows promotes self-sufficiency and empowers them with required knowledge. Additionally, senior centers like the one where I taught can offer tech support and use Tech Fellows as a powerful learning tool. And now just not my grandmom, but all my grandmoms can feel confident to use their smartphones. Thank you.
Most of the time when designers join a new companies, there is a lot of new information they need to learn about company's color, font, component, and instruction for their use. We call this information design systems. As design systems save time in creating new designs, over 65% of companies with digital design needs are currently using design systems, and this number continues to increase. Designers working with design system completed their task 34% faster compared to those without design systems. However, some design teams choose not to use design systems because it takes time to teach others how to use design systems. Additionally, designers may experience a temporary decrease in productivity, spending a significant amount of time adapting to the design systems when they join a new company. This is because each company has a different design system scale, and the learning process can be tedious and time-consuming. So how can we make the learning process of design system more efficient for designers based on their company's design system scale? There are 3 typical stages in which designers access and learn the design systems. The first stage is the onboarding process, during which the design system team onboards designer and they encounter many things to learn, such as the company style and components. The next stage is the design process, Designers move to the design system guidelines to learn instructions, and if unable to find what they need, they may ask the design system team for assistance. The last stage is delivery and iteration process, where designers have a review with the design system team or check manually if their design adhere to the current design system standards. In each process, designers spend a lot of time learning and adjusting to design systems. So how can we improve the learning experience of design systems? Introducing Handy. Handy is a plugin that enhances the efficiency of learning design system by providing a dedicated learning modules for each process. Handy also integrates with Storybook, a tool used by the design system team to manage UI libraries and develop a component on the developer side. This integration benefits Handy learning modules by allowing interactive component viewing and providing automatic updates for the latest versions of design systems. The first learning module is for newcomers during onboarding. This module helps designers familiarize themselves with style and component quickly during onboarding. Compared to the typical way in which designers read instructions and learn by themselves, Handy enables designers to practice using the right style and components. Let's start the training to pick the right style for the element. When you press the Start button, on the right, a dummy page will pop up next to the plugin. The first lesson focuses on color style training. Each task allows you to practice using the appropriate color style in an element. Select the target layer, connect the appropriate style, and complete the task, step by step. You will become familiar with the color style used in the title, body text, and background. This approach will make the learning process more efficient rather than just relying on reading instructions. You can also test your knowledge of design components. A quiz will be generated based on the company design guidelines. It covers general UI knowledge, such as differences between checkboxes and radio buttons. So you can effectively learn new design elements during onboarding process. The second learning module focuses on design process. Typically, when going through the design process, you would either manually open the design system file to find the instructions or reach out to the design system team for inquiries. Through Handy, you can drag and drop the component onto your design, and when you click on a component, you can see the usage guidelines, specs, and live code interactions in real time all at a glance. This feature allows you to learn about components without having to switch screens. You can simultaneously check instructions and design on a single screen. The third learning module is for delivery and iteration process. Typically, you are not 100% sure whether your design adheres to the current design system standard before the design review. In the third module, if you click on your design, Handy will assess your design and tell you whether you picked the right style and component for the context. If Handy finds an issue, you can make revision with just one click, saving time and energy for manual design QA. Handy will provide you with the reasons behind revision suggestion and offer additional insights about design decision making for the design system team on various criteria such as consistency and accessibility. These three learning modules will help designers understand the ever-growing design system and effectively realize design elements within their respective context. With Handy, designer can learn the company's design system more smoothly and easily. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashley. 2 years ago, I moved to the United States. I was excited but also anxious since everything here was new to me. Soon, I received an email from the school saying my health insurance would be effective. It's very important to know how to see a doctor and how much it would cost in America, right? So let me check it out. The thing I got from the website was this, a 26-page insurance document, filled with so many words that I couldn't understand. Fortunately, I found another one. This time, they highlight and link these terminologies for me. I checked through the links and thought to myself, what if they are just simple and easy to learn? Then I came across this. So do I need to read all of these to understand how to use my insurance? At that point, I just gave up and wished I could be super healthy in the next 2 years. So am I the only one who feel overwhelmed by the healthcare information here? Clearly not. These are what I heard when chatting with people new to the country. They feel confused, frustrated, and insecure when trying to seek healthcare here. Studies also show that low understanding of healthcare information leads to low utilization of care. This results in poor health outcomes and further mental burden. So how can we change that? How can we make the experience less overwhelming? That's why I developed Bridge, an app to help newcomers to the United States navigate their healthcare journey with ease. To begin the onboarding process, you can select the language that you are comfortable with. Then, compare the American healthcare system to your home country system from some common aspects. This will give you a general idea of what's the main differences between the two. Next, just upload your insurance card to start the journey easily. Bridge changes the overwhelming experience by breaking down insurance information into digestible pieces, providing personalized guidance with clear roadmaps, and fostering a supportive cohort community. Let's take a look at the information first. The insurance information is divided into 3 parts. First, which medical services are covered and which are not. Second, how you can make best use of your plan. Third, what you should pay for your medical care. Before diving into each section, there will be a brief onboarding process to provide some basic knowledge and explain why it's important for you to know. On the care page, you can see the covered and uncovered items of your plan clearly. In the usage section, instead of listing all the policies, your benefits will be categorized, labeled, and presented in an actionable way. Looking into each item, you will know more about how this specific care can benefit your health, and several quick actions will be provided to get you started. In the cost part, some important numbers that affect your cost will be highlighted, and there will be a view chart to help you understand what you should pay. You can also check your payment for specific cares in different situations here. Throughout the whole experience, whenever you encounter a problem, our character Bridgie is always here to help. You can look for glossary, search benefit details, ask questions, or change the language at any time you want. Bridgie will capture terminologies in the current page automatically and provide detailed, visualized explanation. If necessary, you can also view more examples to get a better understanding of them. Now, let's look at how the personalized guidance works. We provide personalized roadmaps based on your insurance type and information. You can see what exact steps and process you will go through for different types of care. And more information and tips are also available in each steps page. Last but not least, the cohort insights will help you make further decisions on your health. How many times have you asked your friends for a dentist recommendation? In the circle, you can see how others in your organization use the insurance, find out what they recommend, and discuss more with them on the health topics. When referring to the polling data, you can add more filters to get recommendations that better fit your situation. Besides better user experience, Bridge also brings business value to the organization. By empowering members to achieve healthier lives, their performance can improve. The clear and personalized guidance will reduce the time spent on searching for information and taking ineffective actions. Based on cohort data and feedback, the organization can select insurance plan of best value for their members. This will automatically reduce the health system spending, reduce waste of medical resources, and improve social health outcomes. Every year, millions of people come to the United States to work or study. By bridging the gaps between the healthcare system and newcomers, I believe we can promote more accessible and inclusive healthcare in the future. Thank you.
Have you ever bombed a presentation? Was your audience unable to connect with what you had to say? How did that make you feel? It probably didn't feel that great. It can be an isolating experience when your audience doesn't connect with or understand your presentation. It can not only affect your confidence and hinder your professional growth, but it also leads to a feeling of dissatisfaction. In a survey with over 20,000 participants in the United States, 70% agreed presentation skills were important to their success at work. And 20% said they would do anything, like even calling in sick, to avoid giving a presentation. And when we do present, 90% of the anxiety that we're feeling comes from the lack of preparation. So how do the best communicators prepare? The best communicators make sure their data is concise, clearly structured, while telling a convincing and memorable story. But to do this, oftentimes we have so much information that we want to share, and we don't know where to start. Or then we keep stating facts and opinions one after the other without building a narrative out of it. Hi, my name is Avni Zoshi, and to help solve this problem, I created Storio. It's a platform that helps you build compelling presentations through reflection prompts, data-driven insights, and storytelling principles. And the beauty of Storio is it helps you both in your professional and personal life. For example, imagine it's your best friend's wedding in a month, and they've asked you to prepare a wedding speech. When we start preparing a presentation, a lot of times we forget to think about what the goal of our presentation is. What do we want to make our audience feel? The emotions we evoke during our presentations is what's going to make it memorable. So once you enter the platform, you start by creating a new presentation. You get a list of the different types of presentations categorized into work and personal life related. You select the type of presentation you want to give, which in this case is a wedding speech. You then think about the goal of your presentation in terms of your audience. Since it's a wedding speech, you probably want to celebrate and energize your audience. And based on this information that you entered, Storio generates ideation prompts. We all have stories and experiences that we go through every day that can relate to our presentations. But it's hard to recall and generate ideas on the spot. Sometimes we just need that nudge to get our brains working and our creative juices flowing. In the brainstorming section, you can look through different ideation prompts that are grouped into themes. The prompts help you think through and generate the content for your presentation. When you find a prompt that resonates with you, you can drag and drop it onto your brainstorming board and add any ideas that you have about it onto post-it notes. Once you think you have enough ideas to work with, you can go on to the next section. Knowing what amount of information to share and when is the basis of effective communication. Instead of just stating facts and opinions one after the other, organizing your content into narrative structures can help make it really engaging. Storio recommends different story structures that best suit your use case and goals. You can also see examples of presentations that are similar to yours. You can go through the different structures, see what they're used for, and see an overview of all its parts. Based on what you think most aligns with your ideas, you can choose a structure that's best suited for you. And once you do decide on a structure, you see brief descriptions that help you understand what type of content is going to fit in each of these parts. You can then go through your brainstorming board, look through your ideas, and see which ones fit into all of them. Once you drag and drop your ideas into your outline, you're ready to start writing. When you have your ideas and outline in place, Storio provides section descriptions that helps in explaining the concepts of that section. It also provides typical examples that you could add in, modify, and make your own. You can use your brainstorming post-its to further develop your ideas and build it up. And once you've gone through every section of the outline, you can preview your presentation to see how it flows. Storio not only helps you with your immediate presentation needs, but it also helps you understand the principles behind good communication. This could be transferred to your everyday life, making your conversations more effective. It helps you prepare, which in turn helps reduce your anxiety and boosts your confidence. And finally, through the different structure descriptions and guidance, it also helps you develop your narrative building knowledge and makes you a better storyteller in general. So with Storio, digital presentations and tell more stories. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yazhen. Welcome to the world of content creation. Currently, there are over 50 million people creating content worldwide. And this is only going to increase. We are entering a digital era where we all have the potential and be encouraged to become content creator. Whether it's sharing video of your family or showing video of a new product, the possibilities are endless. But video editing can be very complicated, and we are not strangers to these challenges. Trapped in front of the computer, almost all the video editors are on desktop, while our work style is on the go. Deal with time-consuming and complicated editing works, and struggle to achieve a visually stunning video, That is your vision. Although we all have the interest to produce video editor is often either too complex or very dull with preset templates. So, what's the alternative? AI is booming, and we see it everywhere. But still, there is a relatively empty space for AI video editing, which create a perfect opportunities for my project. Introducing Genie. An AI video creator helps content creator with video editing and creation. It's powered by AI video editing technology plus GPT-4. Genie has been trained with professional editing skills and various video styles. It then feeds a large dataset of text, image, and video, and then uses data to learn the patterns and structure of language, scenario, and context. With its powerful AI, Genie takes raw footage and turns it into compelling content by using simple prompts. Now, let's see how Genie works. Lily runs a small skincare business, but she cannot afford to hire a professional video editor to promote her brand. Instead, she turns to Genie. She can train different AI models and organize them into customized folders. Then, Lily tells her preference by directly speaking into the phone.
I want to edit promotional videos in this folder.
Here, Genie asks which platform she will publish her video on.
YouTube and TikTok.
Genie asks Lily to share her best match account, which basically the brand or account she might be influenced by.
Try searching Glacier and Yankee Candle on YouTube.
The most important part is to feed at least 15 videos. It will make sure the AI understands Lily's video styles. Now, let's make a video.
Can you use my footage to edit a promo video for our newly released product?
For Genie to generate video draft, Lily uploads her footage as fundamental materials and let the AI to give it a try first. Genie has a feature called Prompt History Recall, which shows commonly used prompts from past edits. Every time for Genie to generate video draft, it provides 3 variations for her to choose. When Lily reviewing videos, Genie allows multi-video review, which means she can compare 3 variations at the same time without going back and forth, and easily switch to the main video by selecting from the thumbnails. After choosing the best draft, she can make further edits. At the editing stage, she can see a smart prompt-driven timeline. Unlike traditional timeline, Lily will only see prompt and the effect being used in that particular clip. By long pressing the prompt, Lily can reveal how it be used in the clip. She can also hide the whole category to see the video without this prompt. In this case, she had the overlays category. As a result, all the shapes and text are disappeared from the video. After that, she decided she doesn't like how the green screen effect is being used. So she click it and adjust in detail. She can directly speak or type her needs for changes, and Genie will regenerate it and apply the new prompt to the clip. Now, Lily is happy with the whole video, but there is one clip she doesn't like. Don't worry, she can always remix it without regenerating the whole video. As a result, Lily efficiently produces high-quality video without putting too much effort and redundant manual work. There are 3 values that Genie provides. We lower the barrier to producing polished video content, transform your idea into compelling content in real time,
and create video content on the go. With Jenny, take back your most precious asset, your time, and elevate your creativity with the future of AI video creation. Thank you.
That was great to see. Thanks so much, everyone. We have a short break, about 20 minutes. So I'd invite you to hang out in the lobby, stay here, but definitely come back here in 20 minutes for special guests here on stage, not published in the program. So come back then. We'll see you about 5:50 Eastern time for our friends watching on the live stream. Go grab a drink, and we will see you back here. 5:50. Thanks, everyone.
Test. Test.
Test.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So you're going to bring us in, is that it? And you introduce. So here, I wrote it out just in case we want to, but we don't have to do it this way. Intros, just welcome you back from break. We can decide if like who wants to do what, but welcome back from break. Liz opened with we've evolved over the last 2-3 years, so in our spirit of theme of evolving and introspection and connection, we want to, of course, interaction. We want to do a short mixer before we're sitting and watching these great presentations again.
Do you do this?
Okay.
So I'm just going to say quickly. It's not on, right? No, I'm just going to say, I think that one is on. I'm just going to say quickly, hi, I'm Adriana. I'm Director of Programs and Faculty at SVA, at the IXD. And then you're going to say,
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm a faculty. I'm faculty, and I work at the intersection of community and design.
Okay, I guess I should say that too. But okay,
Oh, that's what you, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say Adriana, then you say welcome, then welcome. Yeah, I'm Melanie, then welcome back. Okay.
Welcome back from your break. As Liz opened, or do you want to say that? Like, do you want to do as the director? You can say it however you want. You know.
I mean, I kind of rather, if it's okay.
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we wanted to welcome you back from break. As Liz opened, or maybe I won't say with Liz. Yeah. As we're talking about today, we've all evolved a lot in the last 2-3 years. We have all these great themes: introspection, connection, etc. So we want to welcome you back with a little bit of mixer before we're watching. To around 3 minutes. Can we do it, Adriana?
Okay, yes, let's do it.
Perfect. So.
I'm on my clock for my timer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then so maybe I'll just be a little bit more concrete and say, so in the spirit of our theme of evolve, we want to.
Oh no, are you gonna bring your camera?
I don't have to be.
Okay, I'm just wondering about getting the timer so that I don't have a.
There's a timer here, right? There's a timer up here.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So we want, before we settle down for our next half, we want to mix it up a little bit.
This is the interaction design department.
Yeah, this is the interaction design department.
We all do these exercises.
Oh, do you want me to say that? We do these exercises. I'll say that, yeah. So do you want me to bring them back from the Connect, or do you want to bring them back for a Connect? I'll bring them back from the Connect then, yeah. So yeah, take 10 more seconds to finish your conversation.
Yeah.
All right, good, great. Do you need some of you? I don't know, but we're so curious what you've talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way.
Yeah, it's on one of us. I wish there were a way. I want to hear from everyone. Should we hear from everyone?
Yeah, do you wish we could?
Okay, bye.
Maybe there's a way. We're so curious what we talked about. We can just get back to
I knew you were busy. You're working. Yeah.
So I know I talked about my transition was moving from a company to great. Now and then I'm going to be the
Yeah, there's a way. There's a way. We'll use our bodies. Just with one movement. Pick one. Pick one. Okay. Yeah, you share first and then I'll share. Okay, great. So now we're going to give you just like 5 seconds.
Think of the movement.
Think of the movement. Prepare. You can stand up if you feel comfortable. Stay seated. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm Adriana, and I'm the Director of Programs here at the IXD, and I'm also faculty. I'm a design researcher working at the intersection of community, technology, cities, and really focused and perhaps obsessed with inclusion and accessibility.
I love that. Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm a faculty at SVA as well, and I focus on participatory design processes and the way we can facilitate the how of how we design to make it as joyful as possible. And we wanted to welcome you back from break in true IXD spirit. And we do a lot of these activities to kind of get to know each other in classrooms. Many of you have done these activities with us before. And we really wanted to lean into the theme of evolving and what that felt like together. We wanted to also embrace reflection and introspection and connect to the opening of the second half, which is connection. So we thought we'd do a 3-minute mixer just so you could get your bodies moving before you settle down and watch.
Okay, great. So we would like you to think about a time over the past 2 or 3 years in which you've experienced a change in your life. And we want you to think about what that felt like. Maybe it's something personal, professional, and it's something that you would feel comfortable sharing. So we invite you, if you wish, you can close your eyes, just relax. We'll give you about 20 seconds to just bring something to mind, a change that you've experienced in the past few years. Okay.
You got yours.
Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Okay. All right. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we invite you to turn to a neighbor, ideally someone you don't know, if you can, find someone. And just, you can take turns sharing what this change was that you've experienced. And we'll share for about 20 seconds each.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
30 seconds.
20,
Each person will take about a minute.
Yeah, great.
Awesome.
Okay, go for it. Okay, if you haven't already, you can switch turns.
All right, 10-second warning. Finish up your transition. I don't know about you, but I'm very curious about what people are talking about. So take a moment to pause wherever you are with your new friend, hopefully a new one. Hopefully you took that advice very seriously. I'm so curious what people talked about.
Me too. I really wish I could hear from everyone.
Should we just pass the mic?
No, I don't think we have
That
time
would be
for
a little bit awkward,
Yeah.
right? Maybe we have a different interface we could use.
What if we used our bodies?
What if we used
Yes.
our bodies?
Okay.
Okay, great. So I just talked about professional transition, which was going from like big tech to like juggling multiple projects. And it was like a big change. What about you?
Well, I was sharing that during the pandemic, I had my dad move in with me in my building, but I also take care of my son. So I feel like I'm juggling caring for multiple generations. So if I were to express that in a movement, I feel like it would be like,
I
just
love
trying
it.
to make it work.
I love it.
Yeah.
Should we make them do?
I think so.
Do
Yeah.
that? Okay. So bear with us here. I think you need to figure out a motion that goes with the transition or change you just talked about. And we're not going to let you overthink this. So we're just going to count down from 5.
Okay.
And at the end of 5, we'll see what they are, just so we can eavesdrop with our eyes. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody understand? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this isn't the theater department.
Okay.
Okay, great. Not the theater
There's a
department.
lot of waving.
There's a lot of hand waving.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna give you 5. We're gonna count down one more time.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ramp
You
it
can
up.
stand up too if
Yeah,
you need more
maybe-
space.
Maybe
Don't feel
stand up,
restricted by
use
the
your
chairs.
body.
Yeah.
Can we have everybody
Yeah.
stand up to do theirs? If you can't, if you're able to. All right, and we're gonna give you, the stage instruction is count down from 5, commit,
Yeah.
and ramp
Make
it
a
up.
decision and commit
Make
to
a
the
decision,
movement.
commit, use your space, 50% more. 50%
I'd
more.
say 75% more.
75%
Okay.
more. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. Oh, yes, we have the sunburst. We have the driving.
I like the wave.
We have the wave.
Like
we have
in-
an Oscar winner
oh my
here
gosh,
in
somebody-
row 3. Oh, we have an apple picking vibe happening in the
Somebody
back.
dragging a horse?
This
I
is
don't-
so much evolution
happening?
has happened. Oh, this is great.
It was so nice getting to know people
It was
this
so
way.
nice getting to know all of you through your body interfaces. All right, so settle those bodies back down into your chairs because we have 2 rounds. And how appropriate. We just connected with all of you, and we're going to kick off the Connect set. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I walked up and down the streets of my Brooklyn neighborhood, so ensconced in thought, it didn't really matter where I was. I was in dreamland, trying to decide on a destination for a last-minute solo trip. Let's consult some friends and family, I thought. Why didn't you go visit Aunt Corrine in Scottsdale? I heard they got a nice pool there. I hung up the phone, rightfully annoyed. Now, I love my dad, but he was trying to encourage me to visit a retirement community instead of travel around Europe on my own. And while that was probably one of the more unique responses, this type of reaction is not at all unusual for women to hear. Hi, I'm Hillary Soletic, and today I'm going to speak with you about solo female travel. For so many women who have traveled alone, they speak of tales of self-discovery, independence, and self-empowerment. But no matter how far we've come as a progressive society, traveling alone is still an endeavor not all women feel comfortable taking. Be it concerns of safety, social isolation, or navigating uncertainty, women want to travel the world, but feel less comfortable doing so. In speaking with women, I came to realize that in traveling, the people that surround us are our greatest resource. But they're also a main area of concern. When it comes to socializing, both introverted and extroverted women struggle to initiate conversation. Oftentimes, it seems meeting people is left up to luck. And when it comes to travel resources that are women-focused, the market is small. The current offerings lack the depth and understanding of diversity among women, completely devoid of their nuances
completely devoid of their nuances of experience and needs. But from these shortcomings, Solo Sisters was born. A community-generated travel toolkit and connection app, Solo Sisters is an international sisterhood of solo female travelers. Beginning with onboarding, sisters assess their travel personality and trip interests. In opening the app, a user has information about their current trip, including their upcoming plans scheduled with nearby sisters. And to keep their adventures going, there are recommendations and inspiration to grow their bucket list of things they want to do in the area. Now, the nature of travel is unpredictable, and while there's not much that can be done for that, there are ways to minimize it through preparation. By providing travelers with tips specific to being a woman in that location, a level of mystique is lifted. With a strong foundation of knowledge, travelers can make more well-informed decisions from the start, and in turn, free up their mental energy to spend on the fun parts of travel. Being plopped into a new environment's intimidating, especially as a woman. Sure, Google and Yelp reviews are helpful, but they don't speak to those places in relation to women. Because of this gap, Solo Sisters provides an array of recommended spaces. Based on intersectional feminism, the recommended spaces account for the many different ways women experience the world around them, and provides them with places of comfort based on their identity. All spaces have been suggested by past travelers, local women, and vetted by our team based on their inviting atmospheres. The irony of travel, though, is that it's not always about the places we go, but the people we meet along the way. Through the platform, women can meet a network of solo travelers and local women in the area. Based on their own profile, they're shown compatible matches and insights as to what categories they have in common. They can further customize their search for a friend based on bucket list, trip interests, or personality. In viewing a traveler's profile, the user can learn basic information about this sister, including what languages she speaks, where she's from, and most importantly, what they have in common. Through watching their video and exploring their joined groups, a fuller picture as to who their sister really is comes to life. Sisters can find comfort in knowing that who they're meeting up with is legitimate and vetted by the community. In learning more about her past meetups, users gain a better understanding as to what she's actually like. For some solo travelers, it's as simple as just having a buddy to do things with. For this reason, sisters can see what bucket list items they have in common to do together. The beauty of Solo Sisters is that it brings together both travelers and locals. Through the knowledge of locals, travelers get first-hand tips about the area. As for locals, they can tap into their travel mindset by meeting people from all around the world without even having to leave their home. They can also have the opportunity to see their own city from a new perspective. As people with intimate knowledge of the area, locals hold invaluable nuggets of information and have unique offerings to share with travelers. The impact of Solo Sisters extends far beyond the platform. As part of the community, women are inspired to continue expanding their comfort zones and cultivating a fascination with people and places. So explore the world through sisterhood. Enjoy the adventures, and may you have many. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Thanks for being here. My name is Jessica Zhang. Let's talk about video games. When we think about video games, it's entertaining, immersive, and relaxing, but also a little bit pricey. It might be hard to believe, gamers spend an average of $912 per year on purchasing video games. That's not a small amount for just buying the game themselves. Remember it. Gamers also got to upgrade their console or computer, pay for online subscriptions, and don't forget all those in-game purchases. It's clear that the total cost of being a dedicated gamer can quickly add up. Surprisingly, based on research, 19% of these players never touch the games they've already completed. They are all about getting their hands on new games to keep things fresh and exciting. They get bored pretty easily with the games they already have, so they always need something new to keep them entertained. James is one of them. As a seasoned gamer of 5 years, he has developed a passion for playing both Switch and PS4 games. Due to his extensive experience in the gaming world, he has accumulated a sizable collection of finished games that now adorn his shelf. He wanted to get more games to play without breaking the bank. So he opted to trade in his unwanted game at a nearby game store. By doing so, he could receive in-store credits that he could use to purchase new games. However, he soon found out those stores only offered a meager 10% to 18% of the original game's value in store credits. James also said, "I understand that this is how the shops make profit, but it's frustrating to get only 18% of the value of my game." He also mentioned that sometimes he cannot find a specific game he wants. That's to say, gamers lose 18% of the game's value when trading at the local shop. Also, customers find it's difficult to find what they want at times at the local game shops. So my focus is, how might we help gamers save money on game purchases and expand their options to play more games? To enhance the gaming trading experience for individuals like James, I came up with a marketplace and community application called Swap. Swap is a platform that facilitates the exchange of video games between players, considering their market value. By using Swap, for example, a person can trade his game worth $300 for another game worth $450 and apply the full $300 value towards his payment. As a result, the person only needs to pay $115 for the desired game. This saves the person approximately $250, which is a significant amount compared to the almost $400 cost if he was to trade the game at a local shop. To ensure a seamless exchange process, video game players must first send their unwanted games to our warehouse. They have the option to deliver multiple games at once. The process begins with uploading game information onto the platform, which includes the game name, console name, condition, region, details, and picture of games. Next, they need to provide details regarding the weight of the games as it assists the platform in determining whether to offer a free shipping label. Additionally, providing email address to receive the shipping label. Once they have completed all the necessary information, they will be presented with an overview of the game list and related details. Any desired edits can also be made at this point. If everything looks good, they may proceed to submit the request. Our team will review the request and send a shipping label. Upon arrival of the game at the warehouse, our team assists in verifying their authenticity and listing all of them. Users can easily discover all listings in the marketplace page. In case a user has their own listing and is also keen on a game available in the marketplace, he can initiate a swap. To begin with, the user can select a game from his listing to propose, and the platform will notify him there's a price difference. Then the user needs to add payment method. The price difference based on market value will be automatically calculated. After reviewing the details, he can confirm and send request for approval. People who love video games often have shared interests and are active members of their communities. As a result, creating a platform where they can freely exchange anything related to their passions fosters a sense of community and belonging. Additionally, an unlimited scroll feature adds to the enjoyment of exploring the community. Previously, video game players were restricted to buying, selling, and trading their games at an unregulated market price through platforms such as local shops, eBay, and whatnot. However, now they have the opportunity to exchange the games with other games on Swap, where the value is 100% equitable. With Swap, video games no longer have a limited lifespan and unwanted games won't gather dust on shelves. Each game has its value based on market demand. Additionally, Swap offers players the chance to save money on game purchases and play a greater variety of games. Level up your game library with Swap. Thank you.
Studying art at an early age, I wanted to be an artist, but life didn't really go as I planned. But my passion has always lies in empowering creative people to add creative values to society. And I'm happy that I'm surrounded by creative friends who became artists. But being a creative worker comes with a lot of things. I reach out to my artist friends and ask for less glamorous parts of their creative journey. Studying this project, I've spoken with 30 creators. This is my friend, Jesus, a filmmaker and a content creator. She always struggles to find fellows with different expertise who are interested in collaboration. Let's meet Jess. When she first studied as an illustrator, she had a hard time figuring out how to promote her stationery products on social media. She dedicated countless hours on searching for resources online. But how they deal with this? Being solo workers, they dealt with these struggles by themselves. With the current platform, it's really hard to find proper peer supporters because those platforms don't provide what these creators value and what they stand for. They are forced to see what algorithms want them to see. So what ended up happening is they lose confidence, have less patience, face burnout. Worst case scenario, they quit their creative journey. So, how might we provide a space where creators can easily learn from each other and build connections that help them grow? This is why I've created Muse, a community platform that connects creators to support their artistic journeys. So let's talk about the very first value. Muse provides discoverability that helps creators find compatible fellow creators. During onboarding, creators input their personal information and their experience level and their expertise and the topics they are open to talk about. Using insights from user research, Muse provides prompts in 3 categories, like thoughts on creativity, outside of work hobbies, and their workload. So creators can be matched with the right fellows through these prompts. After completing onboarding, based on user input, creators can explore others through their selected work, creative work, and topics they are open to talk about. Problems often come with the difficulties to discover the right person with similar goals. So now let's bring Jesus here. She struggles to find possible collaboration opportunities with musicians, so Muse can help her find the right one. Let's see how she can get help from Muse. She saw a mid-level musician and started to look at his profile and saw his music playing and became interested in him. Watching his goal, she noticed that he's willing to have conversation about new album cover design. Seeing his interest, his personality seems compatible with hers. In addition, from this creator's review, she feels less pressure to reach out to him because he's really active on Muse. Once she finds the right one, the next step is start a conversation. Muse can guide users initiate a conversation on topics these creators are open to talk about. She can send a message regarding collaboration and check the history via the chat, and later she would get reply from James. That is the first point is about, like, discovering and connecting. So the next thing is the secondary point of Muse, like providing a space where creators can share their skills and practices. Now let's bring Jess and how Muse can help her regarding social marketing. She came across a club focusing on sharing marketing strategies among illustrators and reviewed the club guidelines. Muse enabled creators to create registration forms with specific requirements, and Jess need to meet these standards. So this activity can provide her a sense of safety in a small niche group community with creators who share her passion for social marketing. Through joining the club, she can view the virtual meeting events, schedules, and agenda of upcoming events. So after each meeting, creators can reflect on the session. So through these group activities, creators can share ideas and build strong bonds within the community. In addition, Muse offers curated video tips based on user input, like ensuring easy access to necessary resources. For example, let's say you're a creator juggling from diverse clients' work. By simply swiping the video clips, you can explore how other creators deal with burnout. With Muse, you can effortlessly access and digest needed resources for your creative journey. I believe in the power of human creativity. With Muse, creators can find needed resources, including compatible fellow creators and their skills. Work collaboratively with them. Feel confident about their creative journey. Keep adding values to society. Thank you.
Starting college is a really exciting time. Students will usually arrive at school feeling a little bit nervous, but are mostly really excited to explore all their different possibilities and learn new things. But quickly after starting their freshman year, a lot of students find that they're quickly being hit with things like Intro 101 classes that are really difficult for no good reason. Or maybe pressure to take classes that everyone else is taking, even if they're ones that they don't really care about. Or realizing that they made a huge mistake and chose the wrong major or career path, but it feels a little late to switch now. And they end up feeling really confused and unsure of where to look for answers, with many of them thinking, I didn't know it would be like this. And it makes sense that a lot of students go into college feeling confused because while there is a lot of information about college out there, it tends to be spread out amongst things like university websites, online forums, and also passed on through word of mouth. And there isn't really any centralized location for students to go to for this kind of information. Moreover, people generally like making decisions that are based on the experiences of others. Just think about the last time that you might have checked Yelp before you ate out, or maybe read through 1,000 Amazon reviews before you bought a new $20 toaster. But information on forums isn't super comprehensive, and a lot of students only know a few students at the school that they're planning on going to. So in basing their choices off the experiences of others, they ended up making really big decisions off of either limited information or limited points of view. And a lot of students realized that what they had picked wasn't actually right for them. My name is April Chen, and I'm here to tell you about Pathways, which is a platform that helps students view the different paths available to them by showing them the journeys and experiences of other students and alumni in their school network. This is personally something that I would have loved to have when I was back at college, and I hope by the end of this, you'll wish that you had it too. So in the features called roadmaps, users are able to see a timeline overview of a student's overall college journey, which will include things like what they studied, all the different classes they took, and also the different clubs they were a part of. And putting this in a timeline helps them see kind of what the student did at different times, and also where they might have made changes or pivots in their overall college journey. Users can also click into any of the cards to get access to additional information, such as reviews left by students or class details that are pulled from university websites. And in the About section of a profile, they can see an overview of things like what the student studied, where they might have ended up working or interning. And there's also a section called Big Moves, where users can see any really big decisions the student made, like changing their major or joining a certain club. And they can also learn a little bit about why that student made that decision, which can also help them in their own decision-making process. So now we've kind of figured out the I don't know portion, and we've given students all the information they need to know to make an informed decision. But even after you've shown students all the possibilities available to them, and you've put all the information they need to know in one centralized place, will they be able to narrow it down and figure out what is the right path for them? Basically, what I'm asking is there a magical formula for figuring out what you want to do with the rest of your life? And it seems like, at least for the time being, the answer is no. But in talking to students about this, I was able to learn a little bit more about the different priorities and things that they care about when they're making decisions for college, which are things like interest, time, money, career opportunities, and also how challenging something might be. So how can we take these different things into consideration when we're helping students figure out what is the best path for them? The Pathways Decision Maker acts as a personalized guidance counselor that will input things about students and their wants and needs, and combine it with previous student data and university information, and use it to output personalized recommendations for students on everything from changing their major or exploring different career paths or even finding good classes to take. So if a student is looking to change their major, for instance, the app will ask them a little bit about what they want to change their major to, what priorities they have in making this decision. And in addition to generating recommendations and breaking down the different pieces of information that they wanted help with, it can also refer them to the other roadmaps of people on the platform that have done the same thing or something similar. And because college is an ever-evolving experience, Pathways is both for freshmen and also upperclassmen that might be reevaluating some of their goals and interests. So even if it had a previous record that a student was interested in technology, education, and design, it will still check in with them periodically over time, like any good guidance counselor would do, to make sure it's still aligned with the student's wants and needs. Lastly, Pathways isn't just an information center. It's also a community where students can connect and older students can mentor younger ones. But first, let's get a really common question out of the way. Do upperclassmen even care about helping younger students? And the answer to this, thankfully, is yes. With thousands of students signing up every single year to be things like peer advisors, peer mentors, tutors, and guides for other students. And because a lot of people also just love talking about their college days, they're usually more than happy to give out advice so that younger students can learn from their great successes or some of the less great moments they had at school. In Pathways, users can respond or ask questions about any of the pieces of a student's profile, such as responding to a Big Moves card to get more clarification on what it was like changing their major really late in junior year. Or they can respond to things like reviews left by students to see if they should actually take a class or not. There's also a section on the profile page called In Common, where you can see what you and the other student have both done, which will give students a little bit of an easier point to jump off of when they're trying to reach out and make a connection with someone else. Even with all the tools in the world, figuring out what you want to do in school and in life is never going to be easy. But I'm hoping by offering the students the opportunity for exploration, guidance, and connection, that I can help them be a little bit happier and more confident in the decisions they make for their college experience. Thank you.
Creating your first product is transformative, but it's not easy. I know it from first-hand experience. Hi, I'm Jane. 7 years ago, I took the lead and created my first greeting card product, transitioning from my role as an illustrator to a community builder. The encouragement around my community, around my product, gave me confidence to extend my product from the greeting cards to recipe cards and meal planners, and I had the confidence to foster a lifestyle community. Now, here's the thing. I'm not alone. I'm part of 42% of creators and community builders who recognize their immense potential in bringing our communities to life through our products. And branded products play an important role in this journey. They not only help creators diversify their source of income, but more importantly, they serve as a gateway for creators to connect with their fellow fans and strengthen relationships. However, let's face it, building a product is tough. In fact, only 2 out of 12 creators are able to bring their products to life. So why is it so challenging? Well, it's a time-consuming process filled with uncertainty. Finding a supplier that aligns with your needs can feel like navigating a maze. Plus, creators often lack the budget and resources that large businesses have, making it financially risky to carry inventory. So, how can we help creators easily and quickly build their first branded product? With that in mind, I've had conversations with suppliers and manufacturers. They're actually excited about partnering with creators and understand the power of creators' communities. They want to connect, but they don't know how or where to find them due to the limited industry exposure. And they lack confidence in establishing strong business relationships with creators. This results in a significant gap between creators and suppliers. But it also represents a great opportunity. That's why I created Koyo. It's like a matchmaker connecting creators with suppliers to create and sell their own branded products. And we do it through a revenue sharing model that allows creators to bring their products to life without any financial burden or inventory risks. How does Koyo work? Let me introduce you to Carrie, a meditation coach who had turned her passion into a successful profession with over 50,000 followers. She's at the crossroads looking to expand her meditation classes and launch her first candle product. That's where Koyo steps in to help. Carrie joins Koyo and shares her interest in candle products. Being a woman-owned business herself, she's passionate about connecting with woman-owned suppliers. We take that information and curate a personalized list of recommendations for her. We understand the challenge of finding the right supplier. It can feel like an endless maze. But at Koyo, we make it more like a matchmaking. Carrie easily views suppliers' services and products at a glance and swipes away those that don't spark her interest. Carrie finds a supplier she loves, and with a single click, she lets them know. we make it frictionless for her to connect with the right supplier. But it's not just about Carrie. Suppliers also wanted to make sure she's the right fit for a potential collaborator. They want to feel confident about business relationship and the potential for growth together. That's why we use Koyo score to measure Carrie's potential. The influence score tracks Carrie's followers and engagement, while the growth score measures her follower growth rate. If Carrie has previously worked on Koyo, the collaboration score evaluates her credibility. And the sales score measures her sales performance. So when the supplier catches Carrie's interest, we help them confidently say yes to working with her. On Koyo, every supplier offers a sample, giving Carrie the opportunity to ensure the product's quality before introducing it to her community. Carrie named her brand Lumi, and she wants her products to reflect the branding. She provides her logo, and her very own branded product is created. Koyo understands the importance of trust and transparency. That's why we offer the Koyo virtual card to Carrie, which ensures fair revenue sharing and instant payment once her products were sold. With just a few steps, she's able to add her virtual card to her multiple online stores, like Instagram store. Fast forward, Carrie's products are now making their way into the home of her loyal followers, and she's so excited to see that. With Koyo, she has expanded her product line along with her classes, building a strong connection with her community. It has truly helped her take her business to a whole new level. That's the power of Koyo. Koyo believes in a future where passionate creators and suppliers come together, forging meaningful connections to bring beautiful and valuable products to life. Thank you.
Let's meet Sarah, who has a visual impairment. She relies on a keyboard and screen reader to interact with her computer. The screen reader converts text and images into speech, allowing her to navigate digital content. Imagine Sarah shopping online to purchase furniture. But what if there's no alternative text, the text description of image? This will make it impossible for her to understand how they look actually. This kind of experience unfortunately excludes her from the digital world. And it's not just about one website. Globally, 97% of websites are inaccessible to people with disabilities who rely on assistive technology. Inaccessibility is not the only issue. We still see a lot of copies and images that are excluding people with a certain age, gender, or ability from the digital world. I must confess, during my 6 years as a product designer, I struggled with inclusive and accessible design. This is why I decided to tackle this problem. And I was not alone. Many designers have good intentions for inclusive and accessible design, but they face challenges in knowing where to begin or how to implement it. Because creating accessible and inclusive design requires extensive knowledge and can be time-consuming and demotivating. So I came to this idea that we need to motivate designers with the practical steps and guides to solve this problem. Introducing Beyond, an all-in-one tool that puts inclusive and accessible design into action. Beyond motivates designers to understand why we need inclusive and accessible design, assists them to create such design, instructs them to add all the necessary elements, and empowers them to validate their design to truly be accessible. Let's explore them one by one. First, Beyond motivates designers by sharing the barriers in accessibility and inclusivity through the voice of people with disabilities. In this video, she explains how difficult it can be when the website does not have proper alternative text for images. Second, Beyond assists designers to create UI elements accessible and inclusive by evaluating, suggesting suitable options. First, Beyond helps designers make visual elements such as buttons fully accessible. You can easily check color contrast and adopt accessible alternatives that comply with the guideline without any manual auditing. And Beyond evaluates content for inclusivity. Here, Beyond identifies watch as a problematic word and suggests using play as a more inclusive term. Because not everyone watches videos, screen reader users listen to videos. Also, Beyond offers an inclusive content library. Inclusive gender identity form is one example. This allows everyone to choose their gender identity in a welcoming manner. These audits and libraries save time for designers. Third, Beyond instructs designers to add all the necessary annotations for accessibility. Wait, what are annotations? Annotations are information added to design for assistive technology users to use, such as keyboard navigation, structure landmarks, and alternative text for images. They are essential, but they require extensive knowledge to implement. So Beyond has made it easy. With animated guides explaining each type of annotation, what it is, and how it works, pre-loaded samples, and step-by-step contextual tutorials, designers can complete annotations quickly and effectively. Lastly, Beyond empowers designers to validate their designs to truly be accessible. By simulating the annotated prototypes with keyboard and screen reader embodiment, and by providing accessibility testing with people with disabilities. This simulation will allow designers to check how assistive technology users interact with their product. Let's check out a demo. You will hear how screen reader speaks aloud your design when navigating with a keyboard.
VoiceOver on Beyond. Getting started with VoiceOver on Beyond. Link, image, Kasamo. Landmarks menu. Header. Search. Primary navigation. Event. You are currently in event banner. Link, image, a dining room with a wooden table and 2 steel frame chairs with bent wood and rattan finish. On the table is a small black vase with tall, thin plants.
With this feature, we can emphasize more with the assistive technology users. Conducting accessibility testing requires a lot of effort, and it's not easy. So Beyond will work for you by providing one-stop service for testing. By employing people with disabilities as in-house testers, Beyond simplifies testing process. And it offers designers a straightforward way to request unmoderated accessibility testing. Bringing it all together, Beyond motivates, assists, instructs, and empowers designers to achieve inclusivity and accessibility. Let's build a digital world where everyone can access and feel a sense of belonging with Beyond. Thank you.
Stop daydreaming. My name is Yija, and that's what I was told when I was about 8 years old. I was also called lazy, inattentive, and distracted. But actually, I was none of those things. I was just a child with dyslexia, a condition affecting my brain that causes difficulty in reading and spelling that has nothing to do with my intelligence. So, having dyslexia meant that I was really struggling to cope with my peers in class, and it really affected my self-esteem, to be honest. I'm not alone, though. 1 in 5 people experience the same traumatic, discriminating, and stressful situation every single day. So, what about our students with dyslexia? Well, only 68% of students with this kind of learning disability leave high school with a diploma. And the rest of them, well, they drop out of school and potentially not live a life of their full potential. The problem with dyslexia is that individuals like us have problems with working memory, which affects the way that we learn information that we might read or hear. Tara, a 38 entrepreneur with dyslexia, told me, "I don't read right to left. My brain just bounces around the page, and then it creates images of certain words in my head." We also have problems with pronunciation. Pronunciation is the hardest part for us, mainly because sometimes we wouldn't know how to sound things out. It can be very embarrassing, even as adults, when we say a word that we are unfamiliar with in public, but we pronounce it wrong. Next, we have audio processing difficulties as well. Someone told me that my writing was so horrible because the speed at which I'm trying to process this information is so delayed. I'll give you an example. When I was young, a teacher would use the lecture and not write anything on the whiteboard, and I would have to take notes by myself. But the thing is, the processing speed in my brain is just so delayed that I wrote nothing down. And at the end of the class, I had no notes to bring home. The thing is, there's a lot of products out there, such as Blinkist and Speechify, but these products only primarily focuses on listening. Introducing ReadEase, an accessibility tool that helps us consume information easier using audio and visual representations. With ReadEase, we use AI to provide a more neurodiverse friendly experience by using audio, visual, and hyperlinks for greater knowledge. First, students can take a phone, download the app, they can scan a page of a book, and as you can see here, the text and images on the books will then be extracted into the application. Next, they can use the supporting images tool.
Neoclassicism and early Romanticism in Britain.
British tourists and artists in Italy were the leading supporters of early neoclassicism, partly because of the burgeoning taste for revival styles at home.
These images can really help them understand the context of the reading. Next, if they choose to, they can also choose to share or save this video or just save little clips of it. If it's too distracting, they can choose to view it in full screen. Now that they've understand the context of this reading, they can, if they want to memorize it, they can also do this repetition, and they can use this audio-only feature. With audio-only feature, they can actually drive, cook, and do other things while listening to the reading one more time. Next is screen tint. So if they prefer a more traditional way of reading, the screen tint actually helps them focus on small sections of a paragraph at a time. Then we have summary. This is the third time that they are reading this thing again, so they're basically quite familiar with the reading now. They can revise quickly because AI will generate summary, key points, as well as keywords for them to look out for. If they choose to, they can also listen to the summary. They can also click on keywords. They can also share They can also share on their other devices if they choose to, so it doesn't have to be on this application. They can also save the reading on this application if they choose to, and the application gives them recommended file names so they don't have to pick one for themselves. After they've done this, they can also save all of these readings in different categories so that it can be better managed when they come back and revisit the readings. Now, I brought this application to the dyslexia and neurodiverse communities, and this is what they have to say about the application.
The amount of work that I had to go through, like put into like go to college, like something like this would have been a godsend. Even like the notes, like the summary of notes, the key points is huge. Tools like this, like really don't just help dyslexics like in the classroom, but they help their well-being.
So, after bringing this to the neurodiverse community, I found out it can also help other people, such as people with ADHD, as it breaks down paragraphs into small parts. It can also help people with autism, as it gives them an alternative to the different type of learning, as well as people with language processing difficulties or just visual learners. The benefits are that it's faster learning, and these images and audios work with their strengths, and it's better retention because this app is built for their working memory. I see a future where students of all ages don't have to spend 20 times the usual amount they need in order to comprehend and remember what they read. And also free from memory anxiety when they have to do presentations like this. And also live a life of confidence. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yi Li. How do you imagine your retirement? Is it spending time on the Florida beach or traveling over the world? But it might not be how you imagined. Today, retired seniors struggle to have active retirement. Study shows 56% of retirees feel isolated from others at times. And also, 36% of retirees feel lack of sense of purpose in their lives. 8 out of 10 people I interviewed mentioned they want to utilize their experience in some way during retirement. Retired project manager Joe said, "You are the sum of your experience. If it gets tossed away into the trash, what do you have?" Also, all the seniors interviewed mentioned they want to or have tried to give back to the community and make some impact. Retired art educator Louis said, "Older people need to remain relevant." Retired seniors have accumulated lifetime of experience, knowledge, skill, and wisdom that can be shared. Today, with the growing population of seniors and retirees, there's an increasing need for active and purposeful retirement, a way for them to share and utilize their experience to make an impact. That's why I created WithJane. Where your experience is honored and your knowledge is shared, WithJane is a mentorship program that empowers retired professionals to share their experience and knowledge with young professionals. WithJane will initially focus on the creative industry, such as film, photography, traditional crafts, because in my research, it reveals a need for more public programs in those domains. But our ultimate objective is to create a platform that empowers individuals from all industry. On WithJane, retired professionals can work with young professionals on creative projects. They can bring their own project idea or short sections such as resume review, or sponsor projects with creative organizations like museum or art centers. WithJane is also a community where people can share their project to gain more exposures, or they can also ask questions and engage in discussions. So how does WithJane work in practice? Let's see it through Jane and Tracy's story. Jane is a retired professional who have decades of experience in film, and Tracy is a recent film graduate who lacks of real-world experience and want to learn more about the industry. Jane learned WithJane through an article on AARP, and Tracy learned it through a classmate. They both feel interested by the concept of WithJane to learn and collaborate with creatives who possesses lifetime of experience, so they decide to sign up. Jane signed up to be a mentor by providing her location, past experience, skill, and interest. Upon successful registration, she will need to attend an orientation where she can learn about the platform, best practices. And Tracy signed up by sharing what she wants to learn and also her availability so she can be matched with a mentor who match her goals. WithJane recommended several mentors who match her criteria. Tracy browsed through them and came across Jane. She read Jane's experience, impact, and past projects, and found Jane has rich experience on making documentary in feminism, which she happened to have an idea of making such documentary, so she decided to send a request. Tracy introduced her project idea and the estimate length of the project, and then sent the collaboration request to Jane. Jane received the request and found she's also interested in making such documentary, so she accepted the proposal. Jane and Tracy are having conversations about scheduling their first meeting time. After their first meeting, they discover they share a common vision of making a film of women in film. They decide to continue working, and during their collaborations, WithJane will send emails to check in with them and ask them to provide feedbacks. Lastly, when they finish the work, Tracy published it through the community, where it received a lot of attention and positive feedbacks. So Jane and Tracy formed a long-term relationship, where sometimes Tracy asks Jane questions in career and also update her with important moments in life. And Jane feels proud seeing the accomplishment Tracy has made. WithJane hope to help retired professionals find a sense of purpose by passing on their experience and knowledge, and to help young professionals gain practical skill and knowledge from experienced professionals in their industry. We hope to reduce stereotypes and bridge the generational gap, and to create an aging-friendly community where experience is honored. Share your wisdom, shape the future. Thank you.
Yasmin is a quiet and reserved person with a sharp mind and keen eyes for details. After graduating from college, she lands her first job as a junior accountant at a prestigious firm. Yasmin is skilled, responsible, and hardworking. However, her colleagues are less impressed. Because during meeting, she's very quiet. Expressing herself loudly at a fast pace doesn't come naturally to Yasmin. She prefers to take some time to think through her ideas and only speaks up when she feels confident that there's something valuable to add. And this causes her to miss many opportunities to contribute, and she's often misinterpreted as a lack of engagement or initiative. Over time, Yasmin feels increasingly undervalued. Meetings might seem like a place where everyone gets a fair chance to express themselves. But in reality, in every meeting, there's a hidden unbalanced power dynamic where some people tend to be overseen and undervalued, such as people who are more introverted, who are new to the workforce, non-native English speakers, etc. And this results in wasted talent and inefficient meetings. There are tons of articles out there teaching people how to get their voices heard, but instead of changing people to fit them into a certain mold, why don't we change the environment so that a larger diversity of people can express themselves in their natural and comfortable ways? How can we make the environment of business meetings more inclusive? My name is Mona, and I designed Bloom, which is a meeting facilitation plugin that promotes more balanced and comfortable participation, ensuring that everyone's voice can be heard. So how does Bloom accomplish this? The first step towards a more balanced power dynamic is having everyone to take turns to be the facilitator, especially in those recurring meetings that have reusable process. With all the user-friendly features of Bloom, leading engaging meetings become easy even for first-time facilitators. The first feature is called agenda co-creation. With Bloom, the facilitator can easily create an agenda in advance and share it with the rest of the team for editing together. And this will benefit people who prefer to prepare ahead of time and enable them to contribute with greater confidence. We all have small talk at the beginning of almost every meeting. While unstructured small talk can be an awkward waste of time, the good one can foster trust and creativity. Bloom's warm-up feature is designed to create stress-free experience by delivering simple questions that drive spontaneous conversations. Each week, there will be a new fun topic to warm up the meeting. People can respond to the question via stickers, which will appear on their windows. The stickers serve as easy conversation starters for the teams to build connections and thereby creating safer space for vulnerability. Brainwriting is a more efficient alternative of brainstorming, as it encourages the participation of people who are more comfortable with writing and who think to talk as opposed to talk to think. During ideation or decision-making, brainwriting allows people to have some silent time to think through ideas, focus on thinking, and type out their thoughts before everyone starts sharing. The facilitator is notified when everyone has finished typing and can control the pace of the activity. Team members then can share their thoughts verbally and support each other with upvoting buttons. Unlike traditional open discussions where people can jump into the conversation anytime and can possibly dominate the conversation, brainwriting makes sure that the participation is more balanced. So what will happen after the meeting? Bloom will generate a chart to display the engagement level of the discussion activities in the previous meetings, and this allows the facilitator to improve the future meetings with actionable insights. Additionally, it provides a recap, allowing the team to focus on things really matter without the need to take detailed notes. Retrospective provides opportunities for team members to reflect on their meeting cultures and drive continuous improvement. It takes place once every few weeks. In a safe and open environment, each individual can share their experience in previous meetings by responding to the 2 questions anonymously. What made them feel encouraged to talk about different opinions during a meeting, and what stopped them from doing that? Then Bloom will prioritize the issues and opportunities discovered in those responses, so that the team can collaborate to identify new behaviors to improve their meeting cultures. Bloom addresses a range of challenges faced by people like Yasmin, such as an inadequate preparation time, burdensome small talk, bias against quietness, and concerns for being vulnerable. There are 3 unique values provided by Bloom. First, it encourages people with diverse communication styles to express themselves. Second, it fosters an environment for everyone to be brave, honest, and creative. Last but not the least, it makes it easy and efficient for everyone to lead inclusive meetings, which is a crucial step towards the behavioral changes at the organizational level. And as a result, the team would have happy individuals and fulfill and efficient meetings. With Bloom, everyone's voice can blossom in their own way. Thank you.
I can spend hours drawing because that's something I really love to do. And this is something that has given me the ability to express myself, observe the world around me, and also given me a fulfilling career. So naturally, the biggest fear I have is not public speaking. It's not having the ability to draw. And unfortunately, this fear of mine is someone else's reality. Hi, I'm Osama, and I'm going to talk to you about artists with severe hand impairments. So one of the reasons why someone would have an hand impairment is something called a spinal cord injury. Now, this injury can be caused by something as simple as a car accident. And if the injury is at the higher level of the spine, it's called a cervical injury. And because of that, the person has shoulder down paralysis. Now, this is a major life change for anyone, because one day you're walking, and the next day and forever, you're on a wheelchair. Tasks like eating with a fork becomes a very tedious task, which requires assistive tools, and this for an artist is devastating, because they cannot hold a pencil. Well, there's something called a splint. That is an assistive tool you can wear on your hand, as shown in the picture, and you can attach your pencil to it to draw. Well, this gives the ability to hold the pencil. It does not give the ability to control it accurately. And it also is not scalable to people with even more severe impairments. For example, people who don't have limbs. There's another solution out there, which is robotics. Pretty cool, right? However, the community does not like it for 2 main reasons. 1, it comes at a price point of $5,000 starting. And 2, it's not humane. It makes them look like a robot rather than a person. So my journey was questioning how can we empower people to draw without using hands, because that's something maybe we have decided. I'm proud to introduce VoCreate. VoCreate is a voice-recognized drawing application that uses the artist's voice to create. How does it do that? Let's check it out. Well, it uses a Well joystick, which was designed by University of Washington, and it functions very simply. You use the Well sounds to move the cursor around on the screen. For example, you can say A to move the cursor up. You can say to move it to the right, Oo to move it down, and E to move it to the left. You can also make other voice sounds to perform other interactions. For example, you can say P to open up a menu. You can say K to do a left click, and Ch to do a right click. Now we're going to make a little mountain. A, K, K, E, K, U, As you can see, the person is taking intervals while drawing, and that is because, remember, they're using their voice to draw, so they probably need to take a break to refill their air. And just like that, a person has drawn something without ever touching the screen. And let's compare this with the current adaptive tool that they have, a splint. Well, one, because it's an application, it can come at a very low starting point, which is $50, compared to a splint which they'll need to buy more of over the time of their life. But more importantly, VoCreate can give them that precise control that they lost due to their trauma, compared to a splint, which is not possible, at least not without a lot of training. Next, VoCreate, you can just pick up an iPad and start the application, compared to spending time finding the splint, putting it on, and also fixing it, because remember, it's a physical tool. Also, the most important part is that it gives them the independence of doing something on their own, which they've lost due to their injury. Now, I'm extremely excited to see what the community makes with this tool. And I hope that designers like me, because this has been my learning journey as well, that designing with the community and making tools that adapt to their needs is more important than designing for them and making them adapt to different tools. Thank you very much.
Wow. Hi, everyone, again. For those of you who joined us later on, I'm Liz Danzico, and I have the honor of being the founding chair of this program, and I'm sort of an observer of all of this incredible work. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2023. Round of applause. What an inspiring afternoon and early evening we have had. You in the audience may have some questions like, what's going to happen to these projects? Where did the idea come from? What kind of job might you have next? What are you doing after Sunday, which is commencement? You can find out the answers to all of those questions and more back at our studio, which we're about to have an exhibition and reception. So I'd welcome you to join us following this event just out in the lobby. There will be music. Just follow the music back 3 blocks to our studio. But before we get there, I just wanted to share some thanks. It absolutely takes a design village, and there are many people here and online who have given us the support that the students have needed. I'm not going to get to all the names, but just a few thanks, if you would not mind. So first, I know there's some thesis advisors. So every student had at least one thesis advisor and some technical advisors as well. And I know a lot of them are here. So if you wouldn't mind, if you are here, standing up, I call your name. So thank you so much to the thesis advisors, Neil, Carrie, Samu, Erica, Januk, Diamond, Lee, Lishan, Jeff, Melanie, Takiro, Pratsao, Lenny, Matt, Raheem, Vicento, Elise, Zhao, Adriana, and Winting. Thank you all. Thank you all for being a thesis advisor. Bill Smart has been a speaking coach and helped the students in presence and breath and story and many other things. Thank you, Bill. And the incredible graphics and flow of today, everything else that came with the programs that you have. We have student volunteers and a thesis committee. I just quickly go through Suki, Leah, Rochelle, Hillary, Young, and the student volunteers that have been, yes, thank you. An amazing job. Tireless work. You'll see more of it later. And the student volunteers who have been helping all along, Mona, Gia, Allison, April, Becky, Mahira, Ishan, Amog, and the identity and design, Suki, and Yi, Minyao, Mahira. There's so many others that I'm not remembering. I think it's everyone pitched in 3 times their size. So thank you everyone for your volunteer work. It's been incredible to work together. SVA theater staff, thank you so much for allowing us to be lit up on stage. And we're also grateful to college leadership who supports us being here and provides college guidance as well as the SVA theater. They were here earlier. David Rhodes, who is the president, Tony Rhodes, our executive vice president, Dr. Christopher Cyphers, who is our provost, and as well as Stephen Heller, who is the co-founder of this program and also the co-chair of the MFA design program. And I want to call out Charmaine, who is back at the studio setting up the exhibition. Thanks to Charmaine for all the work that she has done. Rodell, who's here, who's our creative technologist, keeping everything running and sort of advising all the technical decisions and more. Much more than that. Thank you, Rodell. And Eric, who you heard from, and Adriana, thank you for the work that you've done. And Melanie and Adriana, thank you for bringing us back into today. So, class of 2023, Eric and Adriana and Rodell, if you wouldn't mind, please join me on stage here. We'd love to have you come up and take one more kind of bow and take a photo before we go out. So, come on up. So congratulations, the class of 2023. Come on, squeeze in here. We're going to do one more. Congratulations to you all. Thank you, Adriana, Eric, Rodell, Charmaine, and everyone else who's helped. Big round of applause for the class of 2023. All right, so for all of you, you know that interaction design is the connective tissue among people, products, and our environments, cities, many other things. And music is the connective tissue among us. It brings us together. It will be today's connective tissue. There's a musician, I think, out in the lobby who's going to process us back to the studio. There's a banner and a trumpeter from Juilliard to bring us back to the studio. So just follow the music, 3 blocks, and you can find out what's next for this incredible and inspiring class. Thanks so much, everyone. See you at the studio.
Background? Wasn't that behind us just then?